Welcome to Brian's Action Figure Reviews. Before we go any further, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay notified, and all that stuff. So, Twisted Tubs, episode 37, Ring of Honor, Kota Ibushi, the current IWGP World Champion, and is it the Intercontinental Champion they call it as well over there? But he's a double champion at the moment, and my pick for this week was from Ring of Honor, where he fought Adam Hangman Page. I didn't put a lot of thought into picking this match. It literally came up in my suggested things when I was watching another match from the week before. And I thought, wow, I've never seen these two fight before. I want to watch this. That's why... No, go on. That's why I was saying we hadn't seen this one.
Yeah, I'm just the same. I'd never seen this. I'd never seen this match. But mad thing about it was when I turned on to watch it, I was like, oh, wait, it's Ring of Honor? I thought it was a New Japan match we didn't realize. So that was cool to see that it was like a Ring of Honor kind of mix, But so since you picked this, what was your thoughts on the match?
Well, I suppose I kind of half knew the story and I half didn't. It was from when Ring of Honor were working together with New Japan. So they had Okada come over as well for a couple of matches, and they had Omega and the Bucks and Cody. And this is when they were first trying to kind of set foot in America to come back home, more or less. And the storyline of this was a little silly, but it was Hangman was jealous of Omega and Ibushi's friendship because he made out he shouldn't be friends with a guy outside the Bullet Club or whatever. And of course, they were doing the whole Golden Lovers thing at the time. And led to this match. What are your opening thoughts? I know you're thinking something else there, so go on.
No, just going back to what you just said there about Hangman Page and the story built for this, where he was jealous of the friendship between Kenny Omega. Didn't they kind of do a telling of that in AEW between Page and Omega?
But Ibushi wasn't in AEW though.
No. But I mean, obviously with different characters. But wasn't that kind of the concept of it? I think whole jump back and forth with their tag team. I mean, look, I digress. We're jumping on to AEW here, but my opening thoughts of this match was, I for one thought it was New Japan. I was very, very shocked to realize it was a Ring of Honor match when I turned it on. Nice. I like Ring of Honor. Not to say that I because I do. But I didn't realize it was a New Japan or a Ring.
Tubbs was all getting ready for Japanese commentary,
Oh man, look, come here. I know I joke about it, but I really was. I was kind of going, okay, this is gonna be another 50-minute match now with Japanese commentary. I'm not going to know what the fuck is going on because I have not seen the match. But it turned out it wasn't, and so we were back into it. But my running thoughts on the match were very strange to see these two together. Now that obviously, we've seen Adam Page before, but now he's kind of well positioned. Well,
I think there's a long-term story in the works there, but yeah.
Yes. It was a very surprising match, to be fair. I'd never seen these two go toe-to-toe. I was expecting huge things because I like both of these guys. Ibushi is always explosive when I watch him. And he didn't disappoint in spots in this either. There's one or two spots in this match I do want to talk about in a while.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, overall, I mean, as I said, it was a New Japan match that wasn't a New Japan match. It turned out to be a Ring of Honor match, and I was very, very happy because I do like Ring of Honor. And I got to see Adam Page and Ibushi go head-to-head for the first time in my eye view. So, yeah, I was very happy for the most. I was watching and I enjoyed what I saw. How about yourself?
Well, for myself, I'm a fan of both these guys, more so Ibushi. I think because I haven't seen Adam Page in Ring of Honor and New Japan, I find him a bit overrated in AEW. But having watched this and seen what he can do when he's allowed to, my God, that guy is built for the future, I think. And now Page, yeah. And now I see why there's such a long path ahead for him in AEW. Just to go to AEW for a second, I think, this whole Omega Page thing. I think he's been groomed to be the one that will eventually take the belt off of Omega in a year or so's time. That's my point of view or opinion on where that's going. And that's why he's kind of joining up with the Dark Order now, because they're kind of turning face as well, to give him guys to back him up against the Elite, basically. But yeah, he was fucking excellent in this match. And still, as excellent as he was outshined, I don't know, outshined by Ibushi. So come on, let's get into the nitty gritty here. What didn't you like?
No, I'll jump on that in a sec, but it's just, as I was even saying, is what I was watching this match, I do agree with what you were saying about Hangman Page. Is because, do you remember that what I was saying weeks ago about Omega? Obviously before he won and everything else. That I remember I had that like running thing with yourself about like how I felt in AEW we hadn't seen like top tier Omega. Like and after seeing this match, I have that. I'm gonna start saying that same thing with Page. I do not believe we've seen top tier Hangman Page in AEW yet. Maybe minus one or two matches where he's really kind of went out there and gone, but I don't think he's been let off the leash.
No.
Yet I don't think they pulled the card on him yet. And as I said, you probably have hit the nail on the head with that one. They probably have this set up to be very much a thing of where he is going to be the one to dethrone Omega at some point down the road. But getting into the things I didn't like about the match, I thought it was it felt slow at the start, like getting going. It felt like these guys were out. Me as a fan watching it, I was kind of going, I think, and now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this was bad. I think what happened was I think because it was Hangman Page and Kota Ibushi, I was expecting this match to just go bang from the beginning. And it was a bit of a feeling out process at the beginning for a few minutes. I was kind of going, oh, I didn't think that. I thought they'd just go. But then, obviously, when they did, they did. But one of my biggest pet peeves popped up in this match.
The slaps.
It's Now, look, I want to reiterate this, all right, because we're doing this 37 weeks. I don't hate that spot. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, that's the stupidest thing ever. The thing that wrecks my head about it is, right, back in the earlier days, like the 80s and the early 90s, right, you had the likes of Piper and Hart and all these guys that were doing that spot. They did. It was about 3 or 4, maybe 5 at the most, back and forth, and then someone pops. In the independents and like AWs and fucking and Ring of Honor and New Japan, man, these things go on for an eternity. Like they become a thing where it's like it goes on. We get it. Look, and I'm going to say it like I said it, because this one you can see my brain melting. I'm going to say why this bothered me so much. It goes back to that whole thing I said about it before, all right, mate, we get it, you're hard. You're a New Japan wrestler that likes to slap boys and get slapped back. We get it. And it is that thing. And I've seen it in every New Japan match. I saw it when Shinsuke fought Sammy, which as you remember, I love that match, but I just felt that sequence went on for way too long. It just seems to be like this thing.
Eastern wrestling.
Oh God, it's not about that. It's just I don't like the fact that, and I get it. It is very much an Eastern wrestling. It's this thing of test of who's the baddest son of a bitch and who can take the most fucking punishment. I get it, but I just find they go on forever, man. Like it got to a point where and it wasn't even that. And correct me if I'm wrong in it, but it felt like there was a lot of pausing in between it as well. It wasn't just a punch. It was like bang, and then step forward and then take one. I get what it is, but I'm not entertained by how you're doing this. But that's just a preference. That's just me.
Like the minute this started, I thought of you instantly. I said, Tubbs is going to hate this.
Because you know me. You know what I'm like.
But
you know what I like and what I don't like.
Like we watched, was it those two big tough fuckers a few weeks back when Rich was here slap each other, and that, now to be honest, that felt like it went on for an hour. But I, like as I said, when it started, I thought of you, and I kept my eye on it, and I thought this could go on too long. But I felt it didn't. I felt it didn't go on as long as they usually do. And that combo by Ibushi at the end of it was like, how the fuck did he move his hands so fast?
like that's what I mean. Is do you get what I'm saying about it? Though?
Oh no, I know
Do you
what you
that
mean
combo that
exactly.
came at the
Yeah.
end? If they had hit like 4 or 5 like horrendous slaps, and then like Page hit him again, and then Ibushi went into that, that would have been explosive because it would have been the delivery would have been so much faster on it. But I just found it went on way too long. I mean, it goes back to what I was saying the last time about it's like, and even look, we've said it on the show before. Sometimes wrestlers can start here, they're trying to get to here, but they kind of go up like that when they could go like that.
Yeah.
And it's the
Like,
same effect. It's just a shortened. It's shortened down a little more. You know what I mean?
I think it's an easy crowd popper as well. That's why they do it as well. And
It come here. It is.
it's a,
It is. They were. I mean, but what
ooh,
were they saying? What like? I obviously wasn't in that crowd watching this match because the crowd watching this match were literally chanting "Wrestle Forever."
yeah, fight forever.
You know what I mean? Which, man, 37 episodes in, I gotta say something, right? I'm watching all these matches every week, right? And I'm hearing the crowd pops and I'm hearing all the chants and I'm going, fuck me, I miss crowds at
Yeah,
wrestling. Like, I miss
yeah.
it so much.
Like,
It's just,
like to go slightly off topic for just a minute on that point. I watched the first maybe 4 matches of Hard to Kill last night, and without a crowd, it would just go away. Like it was bad because it's Impact, but the lack of the crowd just made it 100 times worse. Now let's never speak of Impact on this show again.
I mean, but before we jump off that point, it is that thing because you look at the talent that was on that show last night.
Well, I still haven't
Like,
watched the main event. Like I only watched the
no, but I
opening
mean,
couple of matches.
have you heard like Matt Cardona and all like debuted on it and everything last night? Like for him, like for guys like that must be kicking their ass because like when he showed up on AEW, he got a good enough response.
Yeah,
Like showing up on like Ring of Honors or Impacts and things like that, he should be getting a massive pop from these crowds because people did, regardless of his gimmick, people did love him. You know what I mean? So it's got to be fucking disheartening for them. If it's disheartening for us as fans watching it, with like when you got Omega, the Good Brothers, fucking Motor City Machine Guns, fucking Rich Swann, all kind of just fucking throwing on a masterclass in the ring, and there's no one there to watch it. Like if we're disheartened, imagine how they are in the ring. You know what I mean?
but like that goes
But
back to our match, like where these two were literally feeding off everything the crowd did. And like you're saying, I love matches like that. So give us some like for bad spots for me. Like it started slow. I wasn't a fan of the slaps, but I didn't feel didn't take away too much. One thing I will say is the commentary. I don't know, was it poor or was it brilliant? Because I didn't really notice it. Or is that because the match was so good? I don't know.
I felt the commentary fell right in the middle.
Yeah.
I think the commentary wasn't like out of this world or it wasn't terrible. I just felt it did its job. It told a story, it told you what was going on in the match, and it kept you going from start to finish. It kind of felt right dead center of where it was supposed to be. There wasn't anything crazy epic about it. There wasn't anything like really shitty or trash about it. Couldn't figure out who was on commentary. I was listening, going, is that Cabana? At one point, I thought it was Cole Cabana. I couldn't figure out. If anyone knows in the comments,
Was one of them Adam Cole?
Match, check it out. Maybe it was Adam Cole.
Yeah, because they were saying Cole.
Actually, someone mentioned Cole.
Yeah, I think Adam Cole was one of the guys, and the regular ROH guy then.
And that's when I went to Cole Cabana. I was going, oh, maybe it's Cole Cabana on commentary. I'm fucking probably wrong, boys.
But on to good bits. Oof. I could be.
Can I go first?
No, I'm going first. No, go on. So go on. Go fire away.
Are you not letting me go first in case I steal your spot?
No, because I'm going to talk about it anyway. So
there's
only 2 of us. We've got to fill time now.
Yeah. As I always say about these things, right? There was a few little things in this match I wasn't a fan of, might not have been a fan of, but I loved way more about this match than the things I didn't. Especially for 2 fucking spots. There's actually 4, but there are 2 main ones. And they're both from Ibushi.
I know the 2.
First one is that fucking run up the top rope moonsault.
Domri
Like,
jumps
he
up
got
and jumps off.
Man, it's not even it's the move he does it all the time, but it was the way he did it in this match. It was so fucking smooth and so crisp. There wasn't a hint of any, trying to reposition his foot. He went up, turned, and went. And the fucking height on that move he got, so fucking good, man. But my
Like,
and there
before
was,
you say any more, though, that moonsault is just pure wrestling artistry, I think. How he does it.
I'll be honest, it's look, I've always said it, right? The moonsault into the ring versus the moonsault out of the ring are two completely different beasts. Because there's a height difference in how people land, and when you go outside, you're not designing to land. If you get me,
Yeah.
You're designing to land on the person. So it's but the height he gets on that out, especially outside, going out over that ring, it's ridiculous. Like, I've always been a fan of that one. To be fair, Hangman Adam Page delivered a fucking slick enough one off the top rope outside as well, but I loved Hangman's fucking buckshot.
Yeah, and it wasn't his finisher either.
No, but when he hit it in this match, I mean, he took him out. Like, I was going, fuck me, that was so cool. There was a lot of spots I liked in this match, but the one spot is my top spot of the fucking entire match. Is the fucking German suplex.
Yes.
Off of the fucking ring barrier outside onto the floor. Oh, you mean to God, I was like, the fact that he got up there unstable and held him enough to do it. Now, he probably killed him in the process, but my God, it was beautiful. So when I saw that, I was going, I am sold on this match right here. That was just
like whatever about, like, Hangman Page was already barely balancing, but for him to somehow jump up, get his legs around him and his hands, and then he just folded him like a fucking accordion on the mat. I don't know how Page got up straight away afterwards, or not straight away, but after it in general, because it looked like he landed right on his head.
That's the only thing about it that I was kind of going. But look, you look at that move, right? Like, I mean, how many times have you seen people like do the fake out on the ropes when they're like Kurt Angle used to do it the entire time Samoa Joe did? It's that fake out to kind of like, so the other person can kick them right between the balls or whatever, to kind of break the hold. You've seen it fake out so many times. But I agree with you, to see Hangman kind of unbalanced already on the fucking standing on the fence, and then for Ibushi to kind of get up and land his feet, wrap his hands, and then pull him back. And for the two of them to like not die was impressive. And I really do. I mean, I dug the shit out of that move. Like I loved all the moonsaults. I loved the buckshots. I loved all the kicks. Some of the kicks in this match were fucking glorious, man. Like, they're really fucking. But it was that German suplex, right on the money for me.
It's just pure core strength, because there's another move. I think it's somewhere in the ring anyway. Adam Page is basically flopped on the ground, and Ibushi does what do they call it? An underhook, and lifts him up and holds him, and literally turns it into a German suplex as well. What the fuck?
It's a straight jacket tiger suplex, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
He locks their arms and he pulls them like that. Yeah.
But like, all those you mentioned there were brilliant moments. I also love that some of Page's offense is like linked to his name. Did you see the neck breaker off the ropes? And like, straight away they're like, that's why they call him the Hangman. And I was like, wow.
The commentary, as I said, was nicely placed.
Yeah.
To tell that story. He's called Hangman Page. He did a move that resembles his name, and the commentary team just told you it was all there.
And he did that slingshot into the ropes as well. So like, he doesn't do stuff like that in AEW. So
see, that's my point. Is like, as I was saying at the start, was that this is why I feel is like it feels like there's untapped potential to be still shown in AEW. It's like they did it with Omega. it's like Omega was going out having like good matches, you know, but they weren't what Omega's known for, you know, in a 5-star rating, getting a 7-star match. But you know what I mean?
Well, let's
In
not
that sense of what
bring Meltzer into it, like.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? He's like that whole, you know, like thing that he's known for, like top fucking class 5-star, 10-star matches. You know, and it took what, but I mean, and I think that's purposely done as well because, you know, outside of Cody, you know, the Young Bucks didn't, you know, like win the belt straight away either. I think they purposely kept these guys away from like the championship kind of title pictures until maybe like the first year of AEW's existence. Now they're all over it, you know. But you had to give them a chance. You know, I've seen some people goes, "Oh, look, you run the show and you're all champions." I was like, you have to give them a chance. They're all some of the best fucking wrestlers in the world, and
but I think
the show only exists because of these guys. So
if you have, I know we're going way off topic, but let's entertain it for a minute. The Bucks are tag team champions now. Look at the wrestlers they've faced in the past couple of weeks, all pretty much brand new tag teams, and they're giving them a rub like so. That doesn't bother me at all.
no,
Omega then is going doing the whole multi-company champion thing, which is mental.
But to be fair, I mean, and to be look, come here. I always slag about Omega. Like I genuinely, I get irked by some things Omega does. I don't think Omega's the greatest promo in wrestling, much as some people think. Like he's fucking unreal, and I don't.
That's why they put Don Callis with him.
Exactly. It's kind of like you look at Roman Reigns. Now Roman Reigns has got much better than Mike. He has Paul Heyman with him to help build his character. Do you know what I mean? Better overall superstar. Same with Omega. Omega for me is very much like Bret Hart. He's untouchable in the ring, but it was never the best promo. You know what I mean?
I think if you listen to him now promo, and he comes across as the most arrogant prick ever, and it's brilliant.
It's working for him now because of the character he's playing. When he was doing the good guy Omega and stuff, I don't know. I mean, look, it's just me. 100 other people could watch him go, "You're fucking stupid, Tubbs. What are you talking about?" I'm not, because I'm fucking awesome, right?
Right. Let's get back and we'll finish off this match. Right winner for you?
Yeah, I mean, they even mentioned it in commentary. Let me look realistically. I probably would have wanted Hangman Page to win this, because I do fucking like Hangman Page. But yeah, Ibushi coming over from New Japan, do you know what I mean? It's the first time these guys haven't said anything. Ibushi hasn't been there in how many years was it?
I think he was in the Cruiserweight Championship Challenge thing for WWE, and then turned down the contract.
Yeah. That's how he ended up in this as well, wasn't it? Because I think he was traveling around the States doing stuff. So I think that's what it was. So it was kind of one of those. It was like, you know, like, oh, Ibushi's this like super fucking character that's come, you know, showing up in Ring of Honor. So and he's the super baby face, because even the commentary had it at one point that Hangman Page normally doesn't get booed. He's getting booed because Ibushi is, you know, obviously
he's the megastar.
Yeah, so I think they booked it correctly. I think they booked the right winner, because I don't think it hurt Hangman. If anything, I think it helped him. No,
it definitely put him over there, hanging with fucking Ibushi. Not to make a pun there or anything. he hung with Ibushi well, and
but I mean,
looked his
Ibushi
equal.
Is, yeah.
So
yeah, I think they booked it right. I think.
What would you give this out of 10? You can go first.
I'm going to give it a solid 9.
I'm going to agree with you on this. The only thing, 9 each. The only thing I would take away points for is the slaps. That's probably it.
I mean, it was the slaps for me. Was just I just, as I said, look. It's not to say that sequence is good. It's just I personally just went a little too long. I find they always do when independent, like when I say independent, Ring of Honor, fucking New Japan, AEW, they're not independent fucking shows, but you know, they have that independent wrestling vibe to them.
Yeah.
Style that comes with them, you know. And I always find it good. They too long with them. But yeah, and then maybe a couple of fucking awkward little miscommunications here and there, but look, there's nothing, as I said, there was nothing fucking major to really take away from this match. This was a really good pick from you, Bri. And a match I was going to say,
an interesting one now, like we usually rewatch matches on this, So do you think it's fair that the two of us gave it 9 on a first watch?
Yeah, I think so, because I mean, but isn't that the whole point of the show?
If you no, I'm just
We watch matches regardless, because like I think it got lost in translation of the whole point of like we had to have seen the match before we were allowed to
because
pick
there's
it.
a lot of matches we didn't see.
But it's called Retro Wrestle Chat. The matches we're picking are retro because they're no longer new.
So that brings me nicely onto next week's show. Next week we're back with a suggestion, and of course next week you will have to make a suggestion for the week after. But next week's match,
it's mine after that. Yeah. Okay.
Next week's match is something I'm sure you love, as you love both of these guys. Is Mankind versus The Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, and we all know what happened in that. So this should be an interesting watch and review.
Yes. Interesting.
I have to thank Mark Webster for this one. So
yes, thank you, Mark. Yeah, it'll be an interesting one because I don't know. Could it be one of those? Another way, like we've picked matches in the past based on memories of a few moments, and then the actual match turns out to be a bit shit. I don't think so. Do you want to know why? And this isn't like we'll leave the rest of it till the next week's show. On that point, I think because this match never really got started to begin with, this match is literally a jumble of moments that we remember because they showed all those moments through every single chance that was given. This match was supposed to be like a 30-40 minute match, and it became a history lesson on how much of a mental bastard Mick Foley is. And
how to put cages together properly. But anyway, that's for next week.
Yes.
Tubbs, thanks for coming on, as always. We are
brother.
into episode 38 next week. So moving close to that 40 mark. And just want to remind everyone to subscribe, to like, share, hit the notification bell, stay notified. And Tubbs is doing his own podcast in the coming weeks. So I just want to congratulate him and wish him the best of luck on his podcast journey. So yeah, Tubbs, take the floor for a few minutes if you want to, or if not.
I'm currently working in the background, getting this thing ready to go. It's going to be called a Twisted Tubbs podcast. It is basically going to be me talking to people about stories, pop culture, everything basically. All around her, it's not just based on one thing. The way I look at it, and I've said this to Brian, is everyone has a story. Everyone can talk about something. So why not just come on the podcast and talk the shit and talk rubbish with Twisted Tubbs for 30, 40 minutes each week? And that's basically the concept of it. I like to talk as this audience, my audience, and everyone that knows me. I like to have a chat. So why the fuck not come on the podcast, have a chat, bit of banter. And yeah, Twisted Tubbs podcast coming to you very, very soon.
And guys,
not sure on the actual release date yet, but we'll give it to you in the next few weeks.
And when that launches, of course, I will be sharing the Jesus out of that on all my links, Instagram, Twitter. That's what I meant to say. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff.
And I do believe that, Brian,
I may cameo in the future, maybe.
Might pop up on a few shows. Who knows? You know what I mean? He might already have done.
Who knows? And with that, guys, see you tomorrow. More reviews coming. And also, well, this will be out by then, but also go to Ash Super Sorrell's channel, where I will be featuring on the real Marvel Action Hour with Ash Sorrell and David's model display behavior. I think that got that right. But anyway, we'll see you later, guys. Have a good one. Bye.